I really want to see how wide awake you are this morning. So let's try singing that Michael Finnegan song. And I don't know if you're going to be able to even keep up with me. Okay, let's go. There once was a man called Michael Finnegan. He grew whiskers on his chinnigan. The wind came down and blew them in again. Poor old Michael Finnegan began again. There was an old man called Michael Finnegan. He went fishing with the pinnigan, caught a fish and threw it in again. Poor old Michael Finnegan began again. There was an old man called Michael Finnegan. Climbed a tree and tore his shinnigan, tore off yards and yards of shinnigan. Poor old Michael Finnegan began again. There was an old man called Michael Finnegan. He grew fat and he grew thin again. Died and so we can't begin again. Poor old Michael Finnegan began again. Yo, did you manage? I nearly didn't. Sure, it's a very fast song. Good morning, children. Oh, morning, Sammy. I didn't like your song. Why didn't you like my song? Because it's singing about old people. Huh, and you're not so young yourself. Excuse me, that's rude. No, well, you're not. And you're talking about an old man. That's not nice. You call them grannies or grandpas. You don't talk about Finnegans and Whiskers and Sins again and all sorts of things. Well, Sammy, I'm sorry, but the children like singing it, and so do I, because it's just a fast song. We don't sing it to be rude. Well, don't sing it again. I don't like that song. Right, when we're talking about the grannies and the grandpas, we must talk about them nicely. Okay, Sammy, I'm sorry. I won't do that again. I promise. But we are going to talk about grannies and grandpas, and we are going to talk about babies, right? So we are going to talk about how old we are. Okay, we're going to talk about our age, and we've been measuring how long things are, and we measure our age in every year, right? So you have to wait 365 days for your next birthday, and that's a whole year, and then you turn a year older. So now you're 6, and then you will get to be 7, and after 7 you wait another year and you get to be 8. And how does that happen? It happens because we actually grow, right? And we grow older. I want to show you this picture of this baby, okay? It's a very small baby, okay? It's what we call a newborn baby, okay? So it's not a year old, it's a new baby. Look what the daddy's doing. Right. He is feeding the baby so that the baby grows and gets bigger. And each day the baby will get a little bit older until it's 1. And then it'll be 2. And then it'll be 3. And then it'll be 4. And then it'll be 5. And then it'll be 6 like you. Okay. So from this tiny little baby, it's going to grow into a child. And after it's a child, it's going to grow into a teenager. And that's what you're going to do too. You see all the teenagers, the boys and girls from the high school, they're teenagers, right? That go onto the field and they're taller than you, right? And some of them are heavier than you because they are a lot older than you. They're quite a few years older than you. Some of them are 5 years older than you. Some of them are 6 and more years older than you. Right, so in the time that they've got older, they've also grown. And those high school boys and girls will still grow, and they will leave school and they will study. And the boys will become men and the girls will become women. And that's actually how things work, right? We start off as a baby, and every year we grow older, right? So I've grown to be quite old so that I can be a granny. Now I'm going to show you another picture of a granny, right? I'm going to put it up here. So maybe you'll be able to see it nicely. Let me just move it a little bit. Okay, I want you to look at the granny and I want you to look at the grandpa. Okay, let's move it forward a little bit. There we go. Okay, so these two people here are the oldest two people at the table. And when I put up the picture, Sammy said to me, here's the grandpa and there's the granny. And I said to him, Sammy, how did you know that? And he said, because look at Grandpa's hair. It's grey. Right. And look here, he's wearing glasses because his eyes don't see so nicely anymore. And look too, some of his hair is very thin and he's going bald. And if we look at Granny too, we can see her skin is a little bit wrinkled, okay, which is telling us she's a little bit older, okay. Who's she a little bit older than? Let's move the picture a little bit more now so you can see. She's a little bit older than these people, okay, than the mommy and the daddy. Right, you can see the mommy's still got lovely skin, and so does the daddy. Daddy's hair isn't grey yet, right? He does wear glasses, though, so maybe he hasn't just got such great eyes, so he does wear some glasses. Right, but they are the oldest in the picture because they're the granny and the grandpa. The mommy and the daddy are a little bit younger, okay, but they're not the youngest, okay, because there are children at the table. Right, they're the mommy and daddy's children, and the children can't be older than them. They must be younger. And this little boy looks taller, and he looks more grown up. So I think he is older than this little one, okay, who still doesn't sit by herself on a chair or himself on a chair, sitting on mommy's lap. Okay, so he is still younger. Okay, and if we looked at the picture here, I would say the grannies and the grandpas are the oldest, okay, and then the mummies and the daddies, okay, but then this little boy I think would be older than this little one. All right, so if we look at our picture, we've arranged it now into how old they are, or if you're not old, we will say you are young, okay. So you're either young or you are old, okay. In your book, you have got a picture like this, like that, okay, and you have got to sort out from the oldest person to the youngest person, right? And you're going to color in all these pictures first. So I've colored in my pictures, right? And now, what's this telling me? I have to cut all the way up here. These little ant lines are telling me I must cut it. Then I'm going to cut out all these pictures, and the oldest person I must put at the top of the page, and the youngest person I must put at the bottom of the page. Okay, so who am I going to start with? I'm going to start with who's the oldest? Sammy told you. Grandpa's the oldest. He's going to go at the top. Who's going to go right at the bottom? You're right, the baby. Okay, so who will go here then? Who's younger than Grandpa? Daddy, that's right. And then we're going to have the little boy and the baby. And this is a lovely picture for you to look at because we can see there's Grandpa, okay. But first of all, Grandpa even, he was a baby. And from a baby, Grandpa grew into a boy, and after being a boy, Grandpa would have been a man, and then eventually he would have become a grandpa. And this little baby is going to be a baby. He's going to grow into a little boy. He's going to grow into a dad, and then he's going to grow into a grandpa. Okay, now we can say the same for the girls. If it was a baby girl, there would be the baby girl, right? She would grow into a girl, and then into a mommy, and then into a granny. Okay, so I want to see how nicely you're able to do that exercise. Trick is at the top, because it wants you to go from oldest to youngest, you put in grandpa, because that you did learn today. Okay, do you think we could end off just with our family song? Let's try. This is my daddy, he's big and he's strong. And this is my mommy, she's singing a song. And here are the children, the big and the small. And here is the baby, the smallest of all. They all live together in our family. Sometimes they are happy as happy can be, and sometimes they're angry, and sometimes they're sad. But Mom loves us all, and for that we are glad. So go and enjoy color and do your family for me beautifully. Bye.